I didn't hit record.
Okay, I hit it, so hopefully that works.
It should tell you.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Okay, I'm like, it should be telling you if it's recording. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, Beth says it does show recording in progress. Okay, good. It showed me that for a second, but now it's gone. Hello, Kayla. Kayla, if you want to say something, you'll have to raise your hand. I was just telling them I turned on a setting for everyone to be on mute. So if you want to talk, just raise your hand and I can unmute you. And if anyone has questions, we'll have you raise your hand. And then at the end, we'll get to questions. Also, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. So we'll give it just one more minute and then we will get started. Looking forward to talking about this. I see a
Yeah.
lot of familiar faces, few new ones. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Beth. Lindsay, you're in there twice somehow.
Oh man.
Do you see that?
Yep. Hopefully it's fine.
Okay. Well, let me start screen sharing and then we will dive in. Okie dokie. All right. Can everybody see this? Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
Perfect. All right. Well, everyone, welcome to our metabolism reboot training. As Lindsay was saying, we are very excited to share about this because it's something that really can change your entire life. Taking care of your metabolism, stopping the dieting cycle, actually fueling your body, feeling good with food. It is not a superficial thing. It changes your entire life, not just your body. So it's something that we want more women to do and understand. We're a lot about fat loss and helping women do that, but it's more than that. We're also about helping women have that healthy relationship with food. So while we're getting started, if you could just drop in the chat your name and where you're from. We'd love to just see who's here and have you guys kind of get to know one another a little bit. So name and where you're from. And then if you would like to share a goal, we'd love to hear it. So what goal are you in right now? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to just take care of your metabolism? Are you trying to build muscle? Like, what do you want to learn from this call, or what's a goal that you're working on right now?
Okay, so I'm Coach Lindsay. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my own journey. So, I was someone who really struggled with binge eating, trying to be the smallest version of myself. And I was seriously, it was the greatest thing for me when I learned how to eat more food and found food freedom. So, I used to always chase new low ends. I was someone who weighed myself every single day. I would hop on that scale and it would determine my mood. I thought if I just weighed less and less, I would finally love my body and have that toned and fit appearance, but I was so wrong. I just end up having a horrible relationship with food and feeling super skinny fat. When I learned about eating more food, building muscle, and becoming the strongest version of myself, I was set free. I stopped obsessing over food. I learned how to fuel my body. And this is when I actually saw the most changes. This is when I was like, okay, we are building something here. And it was just so much fun. So I healed my relationship with food, had more energy for my 12-hour shifts, and built a booty and let go of my food obsession.
Ah, sorry guys. Somehow it jumped to the very last slide. That was weird. Huh. Let me see if I can go. Ah, what is happening?
Oh no.
Sorry, guys. It's like trying to record a loom somehow.
I will read some of these.
Hold your britches, everyone.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, go ahead.
and we're back. Okay, so a little bit about my journey here. Sort of similar to Lindsay's in that I've also struggled with my relationship with food. So one thing that I tried to do when I got into health and fitness was I just jumped in with both feet. I was so excited. I hired a coach to get me stage ready to compete, and unfortunately, that really messed me up. Oh, I started to eat like 1,000 calories a day based on my coach's meal plan. I followed it to a T. Like one thing about me, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And I did. I placed, I did well, but it was not worth it for what it did to my health. I was like under 95 pounds. I think on stage I was 92, 93 pounds. And I really had a terrible relationship with food and something I never struggled with my whole life. I couldn't go out to eat without wanting to binge and overconsume. And that was just not like me. But that's what that extreme dieting and hyperfixation on the scale and what I ate did to me. And it was not teaching me about nutrition. It was just following a rigid meal plan. It was following chicken, broccoli every day. And then not only that, but I lost my period for 2 years. And I also really struggled with my gut health. Went to doctors. They just tried to put me on laxatives. They tried to do colonoscopies with me. And I was like, I'm in my 20s. I need someone to help me with my nutrition, my health, like, take a more holistic approach. But that wasn't really offered to me anywhere I went. So it took me like 2 years to figure this out. And my body didn't really heal until I started eating more. My hormones got so much better. My period came back. Now my cycle is like totally regular. I feel good. I feel high energy, and I have a great relationship with food. And I was always trying to eat under 1,400 calories, and I didn't know how to eat more. I was so scared to eat more. And now I eat, I don't know, I think it's between 1,800 and 2,000 a day. And I am small and petite. So if I can do it, you can do it.
Okay, and our goal for you is that you will learn how to eat more food while still changing your body composition. So, losing that fat, building muscle, getting that toned appearance, having more shape, and then how to build muscle to increase your metabolism and set yourself up for a better fat loss phase. The more you do this, the easier it's going to feel to lose fat. Heal your relationship with food through eating to fuel your body. This is something I'm super passionate about. I know so many women struggle with their relationship with food, and I've been there, so we truly want to help with that. And we hope you will leave this class with actual tips on how to build muscle and strategically eat more, knowledge of why you may be feeling stuck or skinny fat, and then we do have a special and limited time offer for you guys. Okay, so what actually goes into how your metabolism works? So, the definition of it is just the chemical processes that occur within a living organism in order to maintain life. So, how your body processes food into energy. And some of the things that affect this are genetics. So, this plays a smaller role than you might think. What you do lifestyle wise and your habits is going to affect it way more. How much muscle mass you have on your body, which we're going to talk about a lot, exercise and movement. As we get older, we tend to just move less, right? We get desk jobs, we're sitting all day. That impacts how many calories we're burning. Your gender, how many calories you eat consistently, what you eat, sleep. Sleep is something that we don't focus on enough, it's huge. And then hormones. Hormones are often affected by your lifestyle, though. So make sure if you feel like you are someone that has your hormones all out of whack, you want to start focusing on making healthy lifestyle changes.
Okay, to understand some of the things we're going to talk about today and to understand how your metabolism works and really how many calories you can eat, you need to understand this little chart here. So, if you look at the picture on the right, it's going to show you how many calories your body burns based on each of these different sections, which I will explain. So, the largest amount of calories burned every day is calculated or is from your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. And this means the amount of calories that you would burn just laying on the couch if you're in a coma, just to keep alive, like for your heart to pump, your lungs to work. That is your BMR. So if you were to not move a muscle all day, you're not even walking to the bathroom, that's your BMR. And basically the amount of calories you would burn to stay that exact same size. The next section is your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is how many calories you burn with all of the movement you do day to day that is not actually exercise. So this means doing laundry, taking care of your kids. If you're on your feet for work, that would fall under your NEAT. Then your TEF, which is the thermic effect of food. So when you digest food, your body does require calories to even digest your food. That's 10% of the calories you burn every single day. And some foods have a higher thermic effect of food. So some calories are very easy for your body to break down and don't require much energy, and some take a lot more. Protein takes the most energy to digest and for your body to break down. Your EAT is your exercise activity thermogenesis, which is the amount of calories that you burn every day from your exercise, your 1 hour workout a day, whatever it may be. And that makes up about 5% of your daily calorie burn. And what I want you guys to notice here is that oftentimes there's so much emphasis on this little 5%, your exercise activity thermogenesis, how many calories can I burn during this workout, when the impact it's going to make on your calorie burn is so minimal. There are a lot better ways to work on calories being burned over time, and we're going to teach you that today. But we don't really recommend putting too much emphasis on your Apple Watch and how many calories you burn during your 30 or 1 hour workout. It's going to affect your overall results so very little. And the largest contributor to how many calories you burn is just your BMR, which is basically based on your height, your weight, your age, if you're male or female. That's about it. Not many other things go into your BMR. So if you are a small person, you're just out of luck. Sorry, your BMR is much lower than a large person. So a 5 foot tall, 100 pound female is going to burn significantly less calories than the 6 foot tall, 200 pound man. And the biggest indication of that is not how much they move, it is just simply the size of their body. So some problems we oftentimes see when it comes to our metabolisms and things that can really slow down our metabolism over time and kind of trying all the wrong things. One common problem is the constant crash dieting. You might lose weight, but then you gain it all back. And what's happening is, yes, you're bringing your calories really low and you're seeing instant results. You're maybe losing a lot of fat, but along with that, you are oftentimes losing a large amount of muscle. And that is very concerning. It is so much better to do it the right way, maintain muscle, because as you age, muscle loss is already a major problem and it's already going to make fat gain so much easier. The more muscle you lose, the easier it is to put on fat. So if you felt like over time that fat just like builds on your body, and no matter what you do, no matter what diets you try, it just comes back all that much quicker. You probably are a chronic crash diet. You're trying these really low calorie diets or these carnivore here, shake here, whatever, and you see temporary results, and then it all just comes back, and every time a little bit quicker. You are not building muscle and you're probably wasting it, which is the opposite of what we want to do. So it's really the opposite of diet culture, what we need to be doing. So another mistake is focusing solely on the number on the scale, even when you are severely under-muscled and over-fat. So when you are under-muscled, fat gain is really easy. When you have enough muscle on your body, fat gain is a lot slower, harder. Fat loss is so much easier, and it is nearly impossible to look toned if you have no muscle mass on your body. Another problem is GLP-1s with extremely fast weight loss. And I'm not completely anti-GLP-1. I think for the right people, it actually can be an amazing tool for a specific group of people that meet certain criteria. But I think the way in which it's mass used is a big problem right now because it's also being done without dietary changes. And that is very dangerous because what's happening is what I mentioned before, where you're going to lose an insane amount of muscle. So the average person on a GLP-1, the weight that they're losing is 25 to 39% muscle, which is insane. And that's a lot of your muscle tissue, which you want to preserve your muscle tissue at all costs. You want to treat it like gold. You want to do everything possible to maintain muscle mass as you age. So something that is going to work quickly, like a GLP-1, but a lot of that being muscle mass loss is very concerning. And when you come off of it, if you choose to do that, fat gain is going to be very easy if you have lost all that muscle. So the way to do a GLP-1 correctly is still to know how many calories you should be eating and to have enough protein, weight, train, all the things we're going to teach you. But the point being, even if you're on a GLP-1, you can't avoid the work. You can't avoid what we're going to teach you unless you're okay muscle wasting and being under muscled. And making fat gain very easy as you age.
Okay, and here's some statistics for women with low muscle mass. So, I want to start by telling you guys what sarcopenia is. It's a condition characterized by gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function with age. After 30 years old, we lose muscle mass at a rate of about 3 to 5% per decade. And this is significantly impacted by our overall lifestyle changes. And here are some just powerful statistics to really just pay attention to because it's important not just for looks, but for our overall health to be putting on muscle. So, all cause mortality is about 29% higher in people with sarcopenia. Cardiovascular mortality is 61% higher in women with sarcopenia. One study showed women with stage 2 and 3 breast cancer had a 41% higher overall mortality rate when they had sarcopenia, and 34% of these women started with it at diagnosis. And then having higher muscle mass reduced the risk of type 2 diabetes by 97% in a 2024 study when comparing BMI to skeletal muscle mass. And what I want you guys to take away is it's so important that we're making healthy lifestyle changes. We're focused on a good high protein diet and resistance training for this just like overall survival and preventing chronic diseases. So ditch the fat loss phase to truly change your body. This is what we want to chat about. So you should not be in a fat loss phase all year long. This is really not healthy, sustainable, or optimal for your metabolism and your results. Now, I will touch on this. If you have a lot of weight to lose, sometimes you're going to be in a fat loss phase for longer just to get to a healthy weight. So this can result in you not maintaining your results and feeling burned out, right? If you have ever said, I want to be toned, fit, have a booty, or have shape, this is truly for you. So this is actually achieved by eating more food. And I know it sounds really crazy and scary, the thought of eating more food, but it's truly life-changing. When you spend time eating more, you build muscle, you will burn more calories at rest. So that means more food freedom. You'll have more muscle definition and achieve that toned look. Being toned is truly just having muscle mass and then shedding fat so you can see it, right? And then learn that food is really not that scary. You can eat more than you think while still making progress. And it's just like so amazing when you learn that.
Absolutely. We all want to eat more food. Okay, so how do you eat more and build muscle? Like, how are you going to do this? And we do want to do this strategically. You don't just want a dirty bulk, was the old term where you just like eat whatever you want in whatever quantities you want and just try to eat as much as you can and just enjoy where you go kind of off the rails while you're lifting heavy. That absolutely will work. You'll build muscle, but you'll gain quite a bit of fat with it. So we want to do this in a correct way because your body can actually only put on about 1 pound of muscle a month. And that is if you are doing everything right, like optimally. You're lifting in progressive overload. You're really pushing yourself. You're consistent in the gym. You're eating enough protein every single day. You're recovering. A female can only build about 1 pound of muscle a month. So you can see why losing it quickly and in large quantities is actually really bad. You could spend years trying to get back what is lost very quickly. So it's really important that you do what you can to build as you get older. So what you're going to do is slowly increase your food over time. If you've been under eating or yo-yo dieting, and you're not sure how to get your calories back up, it's kind of a shock to your system if you go from 0 to 100. So increasing by just 50 to 100 calories a week is going to mentally help you out a lot. If you are someone that fears food, fears eating more, sometimes that jump can be really scary. So we find that women do a lot better when we do this gradually. And the other benefit to doing this is it helps us as a coach find where your actual maintenance is because your maintenance is ever changing. It's not always going to be the same. After you lost weight, it's going to be a little lower. If you've gained weight, your maintenance is going to be a little higher based on how active you are at this stage of your life, your age, your maintenance is always changing. So doing a reverse diet where we increase calories slowly allows us to really pay attention to the data and know where your maintenance is. And sometimes we can push your maintenance to higher than we thought based on putting on some muscle. So sometimes your maintenance can be higher than what you thought thought it would be. So slowly increasing your calories is a good way to do this. And a lot of times what's so cool and so encouraging with our girls is when the ratio of protein is right for their calories, their body a lot of times shrinks. Like they literally get smaller, pants fit better, lose inches, but they're eating more food than they were previously. And they're like, how is this possible? But it's so cool to watch it happen. And maintenance is such a beautiful place to get yourself to, where you can really focus on just food freedom, balance, lifting heavy, maintaining your weight, not really being too strict with calories, and you can still change your body. You can build muscle, shed fat at the same time from maintenance. So this is going to require a few different things. One is following a structured plan. What we see a lot now on social media, or really for a long time, is like HIIT workouts were a big thing. Now it's kind of like Pilates and bar and those kind of classes. And there is no shade to those things. I actually really enjoy those things, but it's not going to do the same thing for muscle building like weight training. Like nothing really will. It's tried and true. There's a reason people have used it forever. There's a reason people that want to build muscle lift weights, and you need to follow a structured program. You need to be actually advancing in that program, following something that's built for your goals, and working on getting stronger week over week in that program. Not changing it up every single week, but just get stronger in the lifts that you're doing. So you give your body a chance to actually get better and those muscles a chance to actually grow. If you squat once every 2 months, you're never going to get stronger at squats. You need to squat every week for 6 to 8 weeks so you can get stronger. Focus on progressive overload. I just hit on that, which just means getting stronger in the gym. Like actually try to beat your last personal best. Try to go up in reps, try to go up in weight. Find what works for you as far as that, but you want to be setting those personal bests. If you use our app, you know if you set a personal best, it gives you a little like, yay, like new personal best at the end, whether that's like in total volume for the whole lift, whether it's in reps or weights, it calculates how much you're lifting and tells you if you're lifting more. Following a plan built for your goals is very, very helpful. Not making yourself fit into a plan, but building a plan around your life. Because if you can't stick with it, it's really pointless. I can't really emphasize that enough. If you can't stick to your diet, you shouldn't have done the diet in the first place. You probably just lost a whole lot of muscle in the process, and now you weigh what you did before. Like you shouldn't have even done the diet. If you're going to do workouts, but you're not going to stick to it, I don't want to say there's no benefit, but like it won't do much for your body composition. You really need to stick to something. And also kind of change your mindset around what is the purpose of exercise? What is the goal? In the 90s or like when our parents grew up, a lot of times they focused on calorie burn. I guess we kind of still do, but like it was all about like getting the sweat, right? Getting your sweat up and burning as many calories as possible, like cardio bunny. And now we understand that that's actually not what to focus on. The goal of exercise is to build. And when you can kind of get that in your head, things become a little bit more fun and you're going to see better results. The goal of exercise is not to burn as many calories as possible. If you do that, you're going to be spinning your wheels. The goal of exercise is to build, and that is what is ultimately going to improve your metabolism in the long run. If Lindsay and I are both sitting on the couch and Lindsay has, let's say we weigh the exact same amount, but Lindsay has a way higher muscle mass percentage and I have a way higher body fat percentage, Lindsay burns more calories sitting on the couch than me. And that's just how it works. So I might be the one focusing on burning as many calories as possible in the gym, but Lindsay's going to burn more calories all the time. And that's way more effective. You're going to burn way more over time if you focus on that. And it's hard to kind of switch your mindset if you've never thought that way. So your food is for fat loss. You know, you got to drop your calories. That is where your dieting can happen, not in the gym. Use the gym to build.
It does help to see that breakdown though, where you see how little the exercise is a part of your calories burned. It just helps you get in the mindset of like, okay, I'm not doing this to just burn more calories. We're doing this to put on muscle.
Yes.
Break free of toxic diet cycles that are causing you muscle loss. If you are drastically losing weight without focusing on protein and lifting weights, you are losing muscle, right? So if you are doing GLP-1s, but you're not focused on resistance training or protein, you're gonna see muscle loss too. Or keto or skipping meals or juice cleanses or fasting, anything that is solely focused on losing as much weight as possible, as quick as possible, that's just gonna result in you losing muscle too. You have to be strategic. When you have less muscle mass on your body, you burn less calories at rest. Just like Chelsea said, muscle is more metabolically active than fat. So this is really important. We're putting on muscle to make fat loss easier on us. So every time you crash diet and lose the 20 pounds, just to gain them back when the holidays come around, you are putting yourself in a worse position. You have to think crash diet, lose muscle and fat, gain back fat, burn less calories at rest, metabolism feels slow. And that is typically what cycle we get caught up in until we learn how to break free of it. Okay, and then what you eat does matter. So, having proper nutrition is very important. Benefits your mood, your energy, your overall health. We're all about food freedom and including the food you love, but that does not mean you shouldn't be eating things that make you feel good too. So you will have more food freedom to work with because you are increasing calories, right? Which is amazing. So yes, you're going to have more room for fun foods, less nutritious foods. You'll be able to go out to eat more, but you still want to eat whole nutritious foods majority of the time. Prioritize fiber. Fiber is crucial for your overall health, but also your gut health. If you are struggling with your gut health, this is the first thing I have my clients look at. Look at your fiber intake. And then hit your protein goal. Protein will help you build muscle and have less cravings and feel fuller. So, yes, we want you to have more food freedom and less food noise, but we also want you to focus on eating foods that make you feel good.
Okay. So, why is this important? There are many reasons while taking care of your metabolism and building muscle is really important as we age, but here are just a few of them. If you needed more reasons to start hitting the gym and eating right, your bone health as you age is really related to your muscle, the health of your muscle tissue. It increases your metabolism as you age, like we talked about. You can avoid so many health issues as you get older. Lindsay and I were actually just looking at a study where basically people that had more muscle mass on them were way more likely to survive cancer, even at end stages. And the biggest factor that, yeah, influenced how survivable this was for people was how healthy and how much muscle they had on them. Like, literally, it kind of eats away at your strength. So that strength is what helps you survive. And I thought that was so interesting. And I think that goes for a lot of different diseases. It just makes you strong in every way. Be able to play with your grandkids as you get older, be able to be independent as you get older. I know that's a big motivator for me. I don't want to be, being taken care of because I can't do normal activities of daily living. You're less likely to injure or hurt yourself. You're so much less likely to, or yeah, less likely to fall and break a hip. If you fall and you have muscle to cushion those bones, that is what we want. We want to be strong. We want to be able to fight off disease, and not to mention, it's going to make your body have a more desirable composition. You're just going to like how you look better. So it's for now to like how you look, but it's for later to keep you healthy, help you live longer. And then really briefly, we just wanted to hit on prioritizing rest and recovery. I think you guys probably know that, but the reason being is that when you lift weights, you're actually not building muscle. You might feel like you are, but you're actually tearing your muscle fibers. That is the only way to grow them. So when you do a bicep curl and you push yourself past those last couple 2 reps you didn't want to do, you are tearing that muscle. And there's these micro tears that your body then comes in and it refills it and it builds the muscle back up because you're eating enough protein and enough calories, and it's going to build that back up. And that process happens when you are sleeping. So it actually comes back and rebuilds stronger and bigger. So every time you tear, it gets just a little bit bigger when it repairs itself, but you can only have proper recovery when you're sleeping enough, when you're resting enough, when you're eating enough. So if you find yourself getting sore constantly, but like insanely sore where your recovery just sucks, it takes 3, 4 days to recover from a lift, that can be a sign that you're under eating or you're just eating the wrong foods and not actually replenishing what you need in order to recover.
Okay, and healing your relationship with food. Once again, I'm very passionate about this. It's very important to me because I've been there. It sucks. So a lot of time we are scared of food because we relate it to gaining weight. We think we have to eat a certain amount or else you'll lose all your progress. I know when I started my fitness journey, I thought the amount I ate to lose weight is what I had to eat for the rest of my life. I was like, okay, I'm seeing progress. This is where I have to eat. And that is why we get stuck so much. That is why we have so much food noise. So once you spend time eating more food and learning about where your body maintains, where you can build muscle and lose fat simultaneously, then you feel less scared of food. You start to be like, okay, I can eat a lot more than I ever thought. And you will see that you can eat more and include the food you love and learn more about your body. And it's truly incredible, you guys. Spending time eating more and building muscle can set you up for a better fat loss phase where you are losing fat at a higher amount of food. And when you lose fat, you have more muscle and definition to show for it.
There's people in the chat saying they really relate. And I think all of us can kind of relate. Society teaches us to fear food.
And it can be so bad to the point where you don't even want to go out to eat, where you're scared to, where you don't want to go to your family's house for dinner. And it can just feel like so just like toxic and stuff. But when you learn about how much you can maintain that, it's so freeing. I went from thinking I had to eat like 1,600 calories to learning I could really eat like 2,000 to 2,200. Like that was incredible.
Absolutely. And we're going to show you just a few of our clients that have done this. Hopefully it just eases a little bit of your fear if your coach is telling you, "Hey, you're under eating," or "Hey, it's time to reverse diet," or you just know in your heart you under eat and that you're just killing your relationship with food. I hope this eases your fears a little bit, just seeing other people's stories, not only mine, not only Lindsay's, but other people. So this was one of my like very first clients, and I still like to share her story because she hired me after hiring a trainer before that put her on a meal plan, and she sent me the meal plan, and I went and like it was so specific, like 8 almonds, like that kind of thing. And I went and I totaled the calories and it was 900. And so she had never had someone actually teach her how to eat enough. So we reverse dieted her, of course, and the girl maintains at 2,000, like over 2,000. So that's incredibly frustrating as a coach to see people doing such harm to people that have a thriving metabolism. And she thought she had to eat what he put her on, and she was really struggling, of course. And she was so excited because not only did she look better, this was only 10 weeks, she built muscle, but we also healed her bloating because your gut can be really off when you're under consuming too. Like sometimes you need to eat a little bit more and eat fiber and eat those things for healthy gut health. So reduced bloating, built muscle, built glutes, built some shape, and she's actually 2 pounds heavier, but maintaining there. And she said it changed her life. And it does when you're under eating and go to a healthy place. It really does change your life. The scale is such a weird freaking thing, you guys. Like, even me as a coach, I still can get thrown by some transformations because this is one of my clients who came to me with the photos on the left, and she was always trying to eat like, I don't know, very low. I can't remember, but like 13, 1,400. I don't know, super low. And she would travel and then she'd binge. Weekends she would binge, she would consume alcohol. She felt so restricted and she was in this awful cycle. And then she'd feel guilty, so she'd lower her calories again. It was just awful cycle. So we actually focused on getting to a healthy amount with food and not taking her through a dieting phase because she just mentally couldn't get out of the restrictive mindset. So we increased her calories, and the crazy thing is, these were just a few months later, but she is up 10 pounds. And like, that's where I say, like, even me as a coach, I still can kind of get thrown. Like, she gained 10 pounds, but she's like, I like am dropping pant sizes. Like, she lost inches, she lost fat, but she gained weight. And that's why I say, like, sometimes it really is screw the scale because she was severely under muscled and very much over fat. And when we corrected that and got her fueling her body, she started seeing results. And now, a long time later, we're now just starting like more of a deficit phase with her, and her body's going to be so much more responsive because she's from a healthy place and starting from a healthy relationship with food and with a little bit of muscle mass on her body.
That is so cool. Good for her. Awesome. So I'm going to show you my client Maria. She came to us with a really poor relationship with food. She used to be on these meal plans trying to eat 1,600 calories, and she would just end up losing control and binge eating. She wanted to lose fat and heal her relationship with food. And instead of just going into a fat loss phase, I brought her food up and we increased it. And we brought her up from 1,600 calories to 2,400 calories. And she was able to maintain her weight really well. And if you can see the difference, just look at how her body changed. So this was her trying to eat 1,600, and then this was her eating 2,400 calories. And when she was trying to eat 1,600, she just lost control with food. She was miserable. And then when she was ready, we went through a very successful fat loss phase. We brought calories down slowly. We paid attention to her relationship with food, made sure she didn't have urges to binge, and she was able to lose 18 pounds. And this was eating 1,800 calories. So she was trying to eat 1,600 calories and couldn't do it. And then she lost 18 pounds at 1,800 calories, which is just incredible. And then if you see just the process where she started, this was like where she was weighing and then where she ended up. It's just amazing to see that muscle mass on her, but also her relationship with food just thriving. So she achieved incredible results by spending time eating more. She ditched the HIIT workout, she ditched the excessive cardio, and she followed structured weightlifting program, and she lifted 4 to 5 times per week and just really focused on being the strongest and healthy version of herself.
And also with this transformation, I love to see it. Like she first focused on a healthy relationship with food. It's really hard to diet from a terrible relationship with food. She focused on a healthy relationship with food and getting a little muscle mass on her. And when I say like trust the process, trust a coach, if you're working with us or another coach and they're telling you, hey, we really should do this, like lean into their expertise. They know what they're doing. Be willing to play the long game. And like you will never have to have that toxic dieting cycle again if you're willing to actually put in the time and do it right.
And she was scared to eat 2,400 calories, you
And
guys.
she trusted you. Yeah.
Yeah, we took it slow. She trusted the process and it changed her entire life. And then this is the incredible Allie. I love Allie. She's amazing. She came to me struggling with her relationship with food too. She would always chase being the smallest version of herself. And then she would binge eat and just feel lost. She had so much food noise and just felt so sad that she felt so stuck. When she's joined the squad, our main focus was heal her relationship with food. That was above anything else. That's what we were going to do for Allie was heal her relationship with food and get her to a good mindset. And we did just that. We ended up bringing up her food and she was like, this is the most I've ever eaten in my life. And she was thriving. And she only lifted weights 3 days per week. And if you look at these photos, she weighs the same and her body is completely different. And this is from fueling her body, eating enough protein, lifting 3 days per week, and just focused on being the healthiest version of herself. It truly can be so freeing and help you build this incredible body that you love.
Yes. And then when you are ready to go into that fat loss phase, you're doing it primed to do so from a healthy place because your metabolism really does move to meet like what you're feeding it on some level. Like you will downregulate everything. When you start eating less, your body starts moving less, even if you don't notice it. You stop having as much NEAT, that little graph I showed you, the non-exercise activity. Whether or not you realize that you start sitting on the couch a little longer or start wanting to like just take a slower walk or like you just start moving less. So it's more than what you think. It really can be affected by what you're consistently giving it. And here's just a few more. And so if you need more transformations, we have even more to show you. These are all people that we reverse dieted. So they're eating way more on the right than they were on the left. And all of them have improved their body composition, their confidence, and their relationship with food. And that really is so life-changing. Like changing your body can change your life on some superficial level, maybe. But healing your relationship with food, because it is something you can never get away from, is food. You better have a good relationship with it. It will like haunt you or make your life better. It's one or the other. And so it is so important that you have a good relationship with it. Now we are going to briefly going to share about what we do. So if you don't want to hear about that, that's okay. You can leave now. But we are going to share an offer for those of you here on the call. So even clients, if you want to hear it, you're welcome to stay on. But essentially what we do is help women to achieve their fat loss and body recomposition goals. Oftentimes that's weight loss, but sometimes, like we talked about today, it's getting to a healthy relationship with food and a healthy metabolism, building muscle. So we have a team of coaches who specialize in all different areas from pre and postnatal to competing. We have holistic nutritionists and personal trainers and just a bunch of different expertise that specialize in helping you to lose fat and just get to where you want to be with food and with your body. So on the screen is how we help support you to do that. The one-on-one support is really the biggest factor with getting you to either lose weight or eat more food or whatever it may be. And we're really proud of what we have built and the transformations because we see that we're changing lives And we see that it's impacting so many women. So we are excited to keep doing that. So our special offer for you guys is we are having our metabolism reboot, which what this is we're giving 3 to 12 weeks free. So if you sign up for a 3 month program, you get 3 weeks, 6 months, 6 weeks, 12 months, 12 weeks. So we're matching weeks to months basically. So if you sign up for a program in the next couple of weeks, we're adding on bonus time. And the reason being is, as you can see for what we're going over today, changing your metabolism, it does take a little bit of time. It might not be an 8 week transformation. Fat loss is much quicker than muscle building. So we want to give you guys a little bit of extra time. We want you to do this the right way. We want to help you heal your relationship with food because it will change your whole dang life.
It
So
truly.
Lindsay's gonna drop our call links in the chat, I believe, or maybe she already did. She already did. So if you are interested, you can obviously message us on Instagram. You can book a call with us for just a free consultation to see where you're at and see ultimately if we can help you. Our call links are there. And if you guys have any questions, we are here. So drop them in the chat, or raise your hand. And yeah. That's really all we have for you today. I hope you learned something. Any questions? I know there was one question in the chat about Ozempic and if you can still maintain muscle mass while on it or after you come off of it. And my answer was like, yes, absolutely, you can. So Ozempic by itself, like the medication is not going to cause muscle wasting. It's the diet. So it's basically like Ozempic is going to work or GLP-1s work by making you less hungry. You're not going to feel hungry, so you eat less. So people are just way under consuming calories and way under consuming protein, losing weight extremely fast. But typically with really rapid weight loss comes some muscle loss, as I showed before that stat and how much of your weight lost on these GLP-1s is muscle. And that's because people are not doing it correctly. There is a correct way to do it. So if you're on a GLP-1, you need to be tracking your calories and protein and still making sure you're not severely under consuming those things and not weight training, or you will muscle waste. But that goes for even if you're not on Ozempic, even if you're just crash dieting. It's just the underconsumption of calories and protein. If you're already a client, do you get the extra 12 weeks? Yeah, you absolutely can. Yes. So if you re-sign up anytime for a program in the next couple weeks, current clients are eligible as well for the bonus time. Do you see any other questions, Linz? I'm just checking the chat.
We had one. I have a hard time hitting protein goals. I add powders and pre-made shakes. Is too much fake stuff bad? And what Alex said is exactly true, right? You want to try to get majority of whole foods to reach your protein intake, but if you have to supplement and have shakes or a protein bar, that's okay too. It's just the main goal should be whole foods, but it's okay to add in supplements to get your protein intake.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with all that. The goal is always whole foods. That is always superior. However, we're realists. Like you're probably working, you're a busy mom. If that helps you hit your protein goal to take a protein shake, take the protein shake. Like if you're not going to eat enough vegetables and fiber in your diet, take a fiber supplement. Like it's so much better that you get that in than you just not get it in because it's in a supplement form. Like take the supplements if you can get it in and change it through Whole Foods, even better. But it's more important that you just get it in.
And
Okay.
oh,
What's that?
Beth just said find the real protein you like. Yeah, just find what protein you want to eat, and that makes a difference.
Yeah, it can be hard to hit a protein goal, especially if it's not, the way you've ate before. And just like practice over time, increase your meat portions, increase your portions of protein, but then also add in that daily protein shake if it helps you. Find like ways to get it in, mix it in things if that helps you too. Anything else? Hear me out. Cottage cheese and Greek yogurt. Yes, absolutely. Add it to your coffee. Yes, protein coffee is amazing. Yep. And Alex said proteins increase over time to help your body adjust. Yes. It can be hard to go like just like with calories. We don't increase your calories by a massive amount. We also don't drop them by an extreme amount. Like it is important to like adjust your body. You'll do so much better mentally, but also your body just adjusts. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope this was helpful. I hope ultimately we can help you fuel your bodies better and get to a healthy relationship with food while still seeing results. And we just want to encourage you that if you are not there yet, please don't give up. Like I say this to my girls, like you can struggle, you can fall, but don't give up. Like keep going. It's possible. You'll get to a place if you're truly stubborn enough, you trust a coach, you work hard, you'll get to a place where you love your body and you can eat a good amount and you are free with food. It just takes a little bit of effort and time, but you can get there. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have an amazing night.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.